Okay, it's a couple of days later now, and the post has just come, and the TA722 AP audio IC that I ordered has now arrived, so we can now have a look at trying to modify this and make it fit. So let me show you what I need to do first of all. I've got to drill a couple of holes in this. I've never drilled an audio IC before, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, so here's the audio IC, and then what I have got, which was still with the original radio, was the little insulator which goes at the back that stops this tab from coming into contact with the metal frame. Now, looking at this, I can use this as a template to drill the two holes to allow me to centrally mount this, because obviously at the moment the IC's only got one, but I need a hole here and a hole here to be able to bolt this through the frame. So let me have a faff about, get this lined up, then I'll draw the outline in pencil. We'll have to see about carefully drilling this. Right, so using the template, these are going to be the two holes that I've got to drill through. I've got them as central as I can. So looking at that, I need to work out roughly what diameter drill I need and get drilling. So give me 2 seconds again. I brought a load of these plastic nuts and bolts to actually mount it with. They're slightly bigger than the hole here, but I need a 3.5mm hole. So I'll go and find a 3.5mm drill and see about drilling this out. I don't know how well it's going to drill. That's the best I can do. I'll just have to try it and see how we go. Let me just turn that off for a minute. I was just listening to the 555 while I was working. Okay, so I'll try and get this mounted in, but what I've got to do first of all, right, the next job now is to solder the connections onto here and put a bit of heat shrink tubing over each of the legs that are not in use, and get this ready for the wiring. So let me do that now, and then I'll show you how I'm actually wiring this up. So what I'm doing is I'm soldering a wire onto certain of these tabs, not all of them, just a few. Then I'm going to push a piece of heat shrink sleeving up over the connection like so, and I'm going to hit it with the heat gun and insulate it, and that's going to allow me to connect this to the radio we're trying to fit it to. So there it is, where I've put the heat gun on it and got the heat shrink tubing to shrink down to size. All I'm using is one of these paint stripping guns, like it's a Black & Decker. This is a HG992. I didn't have one of these, so I just went on to like my local site, found this one someone was knocking it out for £7. I tend to find people will buy them, use them for a bit, then they don't need them anymore. So I brought this for £7, and it's perfect for what I want. Plus, if I ever need to use it for decorating, I've got it. And then we're going to connect this into the mountings, and then we're going to solder wires onto the pads underneath where the audio IC should go. But some of them do need to cross over, and some that previously were connected are not going to be connected now. And I've also got to look at some of the capacitor values as well, because I might have to change those. But I'll take a picture of this and I'll show you what we've actually created, because it's not probably coming out very well on the GoPro. Right, well, it's in on that side. I've used a liberal amount of heat shrink compound just to make sure it's all in. And then underneath, so that's what it looks like on the underside, just a mass of wires sticking up at the moment. And now we've got to massage all of those and get them attached to the rower pads along here and see how we go. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so it happens to the best of us. I've got pin 1 on the chip this way, so I installed it with the writing facing me on the other side. You need to put the writing against the actual wall of the radio, because pin 1 is actually this end. So all I'll do is I'll just run a wire around. I just want to see whether the mod works. If I solder it all in and it all works and everything, then I'll take the chip out, flip it round and redo the whole thing again. But I don't know if this is going to work. I've also got a capacitor sitting on the side of here yet, like a decoupling capacitor. I don't actually know what that joins to down here as well, so I've got to try and connect that as well. But I'll get these pads wired up first and we'll see where we go. But remember, when you're installing the TA722 AP, you put the writing against the wall of it so you can't see it when the chip's facing you when you're looking at it, yeah? don't do what I did and you got it the wrong way round. But you could easily just run the wire round, but there, that's something I've learned. Well, you've got 3 capacitors immediately in front of the IC here, and the one here, this is the front of the radio, so the one facing the front of the radio here, which is C88 on the circuit board, you need to change from a 4.7 microfarad 16 volt to a 47 microfarad 16 volt. And the one down here, which is C92, which is a 33 microfarad 16 volt, you need to change to a 47 microfarad 16 volt as well. So this capacitor here and this one here, you change to 47 microfarad 16 volt. Right, I've no idea if this is going to work. To insulate behind here, when I mount this onto the side wall, I'm going to have to use 2 of these sort of overlap. These are these little silicon pieces you can get, and then the chips sit on top of it like so, so that this metal doesn't come into contact with the side. I'll have to double them up, but the thing is I've got them with no holes in. To be honest with you, when I ordered these I thought they came in bigger sheets. So my plan is, using this screwdriver and this lighter, I'm going to heat this up so it's red hot, and then I'm going to push it through there. That's the plan. Whether or not it's going to work, I don't know. I'll try it on one, and then I've got a spare one in case we have to go to plan B. Right, let me heat this up and we'll give it a go. I'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I've managed to do one, and then what you do is you get it on the end of the screwdriver, you leave it on, and then you rub your knife round at an angle like that, and it trims off the bit that's sticking up the screwdriver here and gives you a hole without any type of sort of damage occurring to it. So I'll try and show you. It's quite hard to work around the camera. All I'm doing is working my way round. A bit wants to come off there. It's got that bit, and there's a big bit here. And another big bit here. Right, that looks like it's pretty much done. So if I carefully get this off, then as you can see, you end up with a nice hole flat on both sides. So that should then nicely sit with an overlap on there. Oh, light, and then give me the chip that I need to then give me the coverage on the back there. Right, let's crack on. Right, this was the first effort that you saw, and unfortunately some of the wires broke off and the legs broke off because of the heat I applied direct from the soldering iron. So I decided I'm going to change the method of fitting these, and I went on to eBay and I got myself 10 of these, which are these little sockets, and they fit straight on the bottom of the chip like that. So I'm going to solder and put all the heat on those and then just plug the chip in like so. That's the plan. Now I've got 10 of these, so it doesn't matter if I knacker them. The first thing I've got to do is try and see if I can solder onto these okay, and then at some point I'm going to have to bend the pins round 90 degrees, or actually yeah, 90 degrees, so they stick out this way, so they don't hit the lid. So very carefully I've put a right angled bend so that when that plugs in down the top the wires come out, then I can circle back underneath to solder them. That's my plan. Right, well it's been a long time coming, so it's moment of truth. I've rigged up some wires to the speaker here, and it's all sort of just temporarily set up. So we'll put the power pack on. Now, let's turn the volume up, make sure the squelch is down. Let's hear if we got anything. Ah, we haven't got anything. No. Nothing at all. Oh, it sounds like I've got a dodgy wire. Hang on. Oh. I'll have to go that way. Why have we got a dodgy wire? What are we on? Oh. We have. Sounds like we got it. Why have we got a dodgy? One of these wires. Ah, it's the earth wire. One of them is dodgy. Right. So listen, all the others are fine. It's that one. Alright, let me have a look at that. Let's see what we can do. But you can hear the speaker there. AM, lower side band. Even more when you put the RF gain up. And we haven't got an aerial connected, so that's really good. I'm not really annoyed over that though. Yeah, hang on, let me take that out. I'm going to pull the pin off of here and reconnect it. Right, success. Watch this. What it was one of the pins on the ICs, they were all like this and one was bent like that. So I just bent it back straight and it's cured it.
Cleanse all the parasites.
Yeah. So let's just put that facing you. Have some volume. Bit of AM, bit of lower sideband. So the radio looks like she's on the air. So here's the controls all lit up. Channel change. Squelch. Got the clarifier. That's the, I've got A, B and C. I don't know what frequencies this does yet. And the sideband, volume, RF gain here, which obviously makes a difference. Noise blanker. PA, what does PA do? That's just typical. And then channel 9. So, our work here is done. I need to now make a microphone up. I've ordered some perspex that's coming for this, so once I get that done, we can make a plate for that. It's picking something up. Channel 35. I don't know what the frequencies are on here. But if it's picking that up, this receive must be working all right. Right, okay, when the perspex come we'll get that in here, but I'm going to get a microphone wired up and then we'll look at the transmit side to see if that's working. Right, so as you can see I've got a bundle of microphones sitting here and I've got my microphone tester here, so we're just going to run through a few of these. I just found that with Magpie on it, so whether that's from a Magpie auto scan, I don't know, but it's a 4-pinner, so let's try it, see if this one's any good. I just need something to connect up. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, that's not working on there. So that's a Uniden one. God, blimey, it's not coming out there. Try it. 1, 2. No, it's not working on that one either. So that's not very good. So that one's a dud. Got this one. 1, 2. 1, 2. No, they're both keying up, so that's a dud. We've got a President one here that's got no plug on it. We've got an end tone, so it's probably a max on one. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hello. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Well, that one's working, so that's possible. We've got a major microphone. It's not working on there. 1, 2. No. And lastly, we've got a sound air. 1, 2. Hello. 1, 2. 1, 2. Right, so the Nentone and the sound air, which are these two microphones here, are working. So these are the ones we'll run with. I quite like the look of that one. That's just a conventional mic, so we'll give that a go. I don't know what that is stuck in the front there. Bit of rubbish. Right, let's crack on. Right, well, I've brought in the good old Mr. Sheen, which is, for those of you not in the UK, it's a well-known furniture polish. I'm just going to clean up the Nentone microphone because I'll probably end up catching something off that. It's not the cleanest microphone. Right, I'll get that done and then I'll set this up and we'll check the radio on PA. Okay, so the radio's all wired up. I've put the external speaker back in. So we come out of there. So we're in AM at the moment. I'm going to go into PA mode. And I've got a speaker over there. Which I better turn the volume down a bit on there. Yep. Classic bit of feedback. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Right, on transmit I was getting a squeal and I've just noticed that this nut here that holds in the, I think it's like the 7.5 or 9.8 megahertz CAN, whatever frequency it is, these are really loose on this side, so I'm going to pull that down a bit because it may not be making a good connection and we'll see how we go. Okay, so I've pulled that one down and it seems to have cured the squeal, so that's good. It was just a loose bolt. On the screen at the moment you have the audio IC on the right hand side with the white heatsink material on it. So at the bottom of the screen you have capacitor C88. You need to change this to a 47 microfarad 16 volt, and at the top of the screen C92. You need to change this also to a 47 microfarad 16 volt. Now in between those two capacitors you have capacitor C89. You need to completely remove this capacitor and leave that component space blank. I've included a little diagram of the way you fit the TA7222AP. So the first thing, pin 1 of the IC goes to pad 1. Pins 2 and 3 of the IC are not connected. Pin 4 of the IC goes to pad 4. Pin 5 of the IC goes to pad 5. Pin 6 of the IC is not connected. That's what NC means in the diagram. Pin 7 and pin 8 of the IC are connected to pad 8 only. So remember, pin 7 and 8 joined together and connected to pad 8 only. Pin 9 of the IC actually fits onto pad 10, and pin 10 of the IC actually should be wired to pad 9. And when you fit the IC into the radio, when you look at it, you'll see the white writing with saying TA7222AP on the IC device itself. Turn it round so that's facing away from you and against the wall of the radio. That way, pin 1 will be in line with pad 1. You can tell which end pin 1 is on the IC because it's got a slope on the black part of the device itself. So pin 1 has a slope on the very top of the IC above it. The other end has a normal right angle, that's pin 10. So I hope you found this useful, and it works. Well, that is cracking modulation, and I think we'll leave the video there. So thank you very much for tuning in, and it's good night from me. Have a good one.